Now that most of the leaves are off to the curb, I'm sorry. I said
They
off to the curb.
Well, they aren't at your house,
At my
evidently.
house. Yeah, right.
Well,
now that all the leaves are off the trees,
yeah. You need to get them to the curb.
you got to get them to the curb.
And let's say,
At my house.
And I think you're nervous about this segment. You know, you had a family discussion.
Oh, yeah.
About.
Yeah, I was right for a change.
So actually, you do listen to what we talk about during the show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what happened? Let's set the scene.
I was challenged to get some leaves up.
You love her.
Right? I do love my wife. Absolutely.
I know you do.
And she loves me very much, and she knows how to challenge me. You know how women are.
I do,
especially
very well.
Your significant others. So
yes,
she challenged me, right? I definitely wanted to pay to get some landscapers to come up and blow my leaves. And I said, no, I'm just going to keep the money in my pocket and go out and do the leaves ourselves. We're talking almost an acre of leaves. And I had thought about that. And
Hello.
so I had to enlist the help of my children. I had my kids out there raking. We had the leaf blower. We jumped in the leaves and all of that. But my wife was like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to get all the leaves up? I mean, just a little know-how. And she's like, just leave it on the curtain. Just leave the leaves on the grass. And I said, no, you don't want to do that.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was that triggered.
Yeah, I said, don't leave it. I'm not leaving the leaves. Nope.
And why shouldn't people leave their leaves on their lawn?
And it causes all types of problems for next season. Number one, for me, I don't want any type of diseases growing over the winter in my grass. And I had that last year. And so I wanted to make sure that I got a good start for next season.
Yep, there are a lot of diseases that, like you said. It just do it, because it also, if so much light is deprived of the plant, it's funny, Carl and I took a ride through Washington Township.
Sure.
Premier community. I think about 1 in 50 houses had a nice lawn. And I'm very disappointed in my neighborhood and in my town, just because they let it go to crabgrass, and they're all like, you can tell who takes care of their lawn, and especially this time of the year.
Sure.
Their lawns are real green, looking great, and the other ones are not. In order to have a good lawn, you need to have good practices, and I, like you're doing, like my son-in-law Steve.
Yeah,
he's devoted to having a good lawn.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, and leaving your leaves on your grass is going to kill sections. You're going to have bare spots in the spring. Right. You're going to have things like fairy ring and other types of diseases that occur. And that you'll be surprised. There's winter, there's snow mold, and that's the kind of things that you're talking about.
Yep.
And you get those leaves up, and because you need air circulation around your grass plants. They do go somewhat dormant. So all types of grasses. I can't make fun of Julio about his zoysia lawn anymore.
Hey, Vera.
He's moving. Yeah, Vera Brown, you listening? You have a big target on your back. You are now our zoysia person.
Oh, man.
But a lot of people are. Which they went dormant a long time ago.
Yeah, you choke out the chances of your actual grass coming back next year. More chance of weeds growing if you don't get the leaves up either. And I found that in particular for me for this past season. Yeah. This is my first season actually removing all of the leaves. I only did the front. And I could tell the difference between the front and the back.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, it's making sure you do that double crabgrass control in the spring. But so, okay, you rake it up, you bring them to the curb, and now, what do you do? Like, does your town pick them up?
Yeah, we have the trucks that come by and vacuum them.
Yeah.
They vacuum them up. Yep.
Yeah, Washington Township has the same thing. Most communities have that now. And it's interesting what they do with them. Like, a lot of people think, they go to the landfill. It's like, no. There are some farmers that take the leaves and that they're shredded up and they turn them over into the ground so they add organic matter back into the soil. And if you notice, they will not take your leaves if you've got it mixed with like a bunch of plastic or, it's just a a dirt pile or anything like that. They're not taking that. They're only taking pure leaves. And that the farmers take that, they turn it into the soil, and that will break down, and it actually puts nutrients back into the soil.
Nice little organic matter.
Yes, it is. And like who knew? Who knew? Putting them in plastic bags and throwing them in the trash truck and having them clog up the landfills. Those days are gone.
Man, after all the rain, though, it just brought everything back down. It was like I didn't even get the leaves up.
I have a bald cypress, which is a deciduous conifer.
Okay.
There's a big word.
All right.
We're in horticulture.
All right.
So think of a tree that looks like an evergreen and that it drops all of its needles. And it's supposed to do this, okay? Bald cypress also, they love the wet areas. Do you know what tree I'm talking about in my yard? You've been in my yard. By the pond. Great big, giant tree.
Next to the big root?
That's its big root.
That's the root? Okay, yeah.
Because they call those knees.
Yeah.
That's a problem, having it next to the pond.
I understand.
Yeah, but that is like a bronzy color right now. But man, after the rains, it's probably 50% of it has dropped down. And it's real light. You don't need to rake those up. So that's a good thing.
Right.
But they track on your shoes, and every time you walk into the house, you're bringing in, a pound of needles. So you need to sweep that up, get your Roomba going.
Right.
Or just blow it when it dries out. Like when it's wet, it's just stuck to the ground.
There, yeah.
So those of you out there looking to purchase a tree, there's trees like the bald cypress where they don't need to be raked. Birch trees don't usually need to be raked. They're smaller leaves. There's a whole host of plants and deciduous trees where you don't need to rake them. Ginkgo biloba. Like, for instance, at the ginkgo tree, make sure you get a male ginkgo because you don't want the fruit from it because it smells like cow manure. No fooling. And you want to make sure that it's a male. Another great tree, they call that like the Jurassic Park tree, because they found in where next to dinosaurs, they found the leaf of a ginkgo biloba, where the imprint of the leaf.
Oh, like a fossil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the connection.
Yep. So anyway, if you're planting a tree and you're thinking about leaves, check some of those types of trees out. Other trees like oak trees and birch trees. Like another one is a weeping willow. Sometimes people are worried about the root system of a weeping willow, but those are another one that, they basically fall apart and blow away. So just saying, a little added thing. But if you're raking, make sure you get some gloves and do it right.
One thing I will say, though, this year, it was so much easier that it was so dry. Like the leaves were not heavy at all. And a lot of the leaves, they blew to my neighbor's yard next door and across the street. So
any of you that have listened to this program, we're big on giving your problems to your neighbors.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, bud.
Yeah.